Hi, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Help I Am the podcast with me, Mathilde. And welcome to this episode about the Reformer Teacher training that I'm doing. And this is an ad for Pilates Center Academy by Pilates Center Stockholm and a collaboration with them. And the purpose with this episode is just to give you some information and inspiration about the Reformer and this training. And hopefully give you a nice little taste of what this education is about and maybe motivate and inspire you to sign up as well. And Pilates Center Academy have just launched their new programs within Mat and Reformer Pilates, and they are running trainings this fall as well. And I believe they're going abroad too. So even though you don't live in Stockholm, make sure to check out their website. And I've linked to the website in the show notes so you can stay tuned for updates and upcoming trainings. So in this episode, I just want to go over a little bit about the Reformer and what Reformer Pilates is, some benefits and why it's so great for the body, and then a short description of the education and what my experience and some key takeaways and learnings have been so far. So I hope you feel excited to know more. Let's start and dive into it. So what is Reformer Pilates? So you might have heard about it or seen the machine before, even though you're new to Pilates, but the Reformer is one of the apparatus or the machines within Pilates that was developed by Joseph Pilates, which is the founder of Pilates. And he also developed the chair and the Cadillac, which are two other tools that he used within his practice. And what the Reformer does and is used for is to do different Pilates exercises with it. You're able to work the whole body on the Reformer, which is amazing, I think. I mean, believe it or not, there are actually many and great exercises that you can do for your feet. So it's really a full body workout that you get. And the Reformer has a foot bar, different springs, straps, head and shoulder rests, a moving carriage within the frame, and so on. And all those parts give you such a big repertoire of exercises that you can do. So there really are endless of combinations of movements that you can do. And like I mentioned, you really get a whole body workout. You also get to work in all the different planes, such as the frontal, sagittal, and horizontal planes. You really get a great range of motion and get to work on mobility and flexibility. And you also get to work on your strength and endurance and so on. So there are so many different aspects within the body that you get to work on and improve as well. So you get so much within the Reformer. And the Reformer also helps you to work on lengthening the body. So it's great for stretching and just to create a lean and long body in general as well. And then another benefit, since there are so many things to think about with the moving carriage, the springs, different exercises and so on, I really think that this workout forces you to become so present and completely focused on what you're doing. And it's therefore such a great workout for stress relief and mental clarity as well, since you really get a break from everything else. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to think of other things while you're doing a Reformer workout, and you can definitely not be on your phone. So it really makes you so present and focused, which is another benefit that people might not immediately think of, but notice after a while. And there is so much more that can be said about the Reformer, the workout, benefits, and so on. But this was just a little short description. So if you want to learn more, definitely Google Joseph Pilates to learn more about him and the history of Pilates. And if you're curious to learn more about the Reformer, definitely look into signing up to this education. And since I love this practice so much, I want to both deepen my overall knowledge within Pilates and also become a teacher. I signed up for the training this spring and summer together with Pilates Center Academy. And the training is mostly online, but with 2 in-person trainings. So the online part includes self-studies, and 2 Zoom calls that are about 3 hours each. And during the calls, you go over some material, you discuss it together, and then the online studies are within their own platform, which is great. And you also find videos of the different exercises and other things to learn, which I love. And I am a big fan of online studies in general, and I've done it a lot, such as many classes at NYU when I did my bachelor's there. But I also took my holistic health coaching training with IIN online, and I did my yoga teacher training with Brett Larkin online as well. And I just think it's so great to have everything accessible whenever you want. So you can go over things several times, and especially when it comes to looking at the body and learning exercises and yoga poses, for example. It's just so great to be able to look at it and go through it online as well. So you can look closely, you can go back several times. So yeah, I can highly recommend this format and doing a online education. And you also get access to this platform and the content for 2 years, which I think is great. And then there are 2 weekends of 3 days each and about 18 hours. So it's about a total of 36 hours of in-person training within this education. And during these in-person weekends, you go over the exercises and you get to do a lot on the reformer. So it's a lot of training, which is good, but also intense. So make sure not to schedule anything else during this time if you take the course, as you'll need some time to recharge and recover as well. Yeah, that leads us onto my experience and what I thought so far. And yeah, I've really loved this course so far. And I think it's been both so fun and interesting to learn. I have learned so much so far, and right now I have one last in-person training and weekend to look forward to, and I honestly can't wait. And I valued all the knowledge and tips shared from the instructors, especially from the head teacher, Carita, who's one of the founders of Stockholm Pilates Center, which she started over 20 years ago. And she got her Pilates certificate in Toronto and has been teaching Pilates for decades. And she also has several other educations on her resume. So she is so incredibly knowledgeable and shares so many valuable tips and tools to use. And I also think the instructors, especially Carita, make you feel both encouraged and excited to teach Pilates, but also they make you realize that it's a lot to know, and teaching a class is definitely not as easy as it looks. And you get a lot of respect for it and also understand how much knowledge that is required if you want to teach a class that have a purpose, that is safe, that meets the needs of the clients, and so on. And I believe I mentioned this before in the podcast when I talked about Pilates in general, but I can't stress enough how important I believe it is to mix your passion with knowledge, and especially when it comes to wellness and different practices involving the body and our health. And I almost feel like the more I learn, the less I know when I take different trainings. And I don't want that to sound discouraging, but rather motivating to know more and develop your practice. Because in my opinion, a great workout includes a bit more than just fun exercises and good music, for example. As a customer, you also want to know which muscles to work on and activate, why you should do that, how it's supposed to feel, and also get some general tips and tricks, and so on. And as a teacher, in order to be able to give the best cues and support clients so they actually get something out of the workout, and also very important, don't hurt themselves, I believe it's essential to have some knowledge around the different exercises, but also muscles and some other anatomy. And especially in Pilates, the technique is key in order to get a practice that actually helps you get all the benefits and that is safe. So if you're thinking of becoming a Pilates teacher, definitely sign up for a training and don't just try to learn it on your own, because trust me, there is so much to know and learn, and you need a proper education for that if you want to feel confident, knowledgeable, and be able to teach classes that can be the best possible to your clients. And there can be so much more said about this, but in short, I just want to say that being an instructor within Pilates, and especially the reformer, it requires a lot, much more than you think. And you need a great education in order to learn all the anatomy, the tips and tricks, and the tools in order to provide safe, appropriate, fun, informative, and developing classes for your clients. And I can definitely recommend Pilates Center Academy. I think their education have been incredible so far, and I can highly, highly recommend it if you're interested in becoming a teacher. And like I mentioned in the beginning, you find the information and the links needed in the show notes. You can stay up to date with their next trainings and next locations and so on. And it's really fun to see because the reformer is really taking off. I feel like it's becoming more and more popular all over the world, basically. It was everywhere in Mexico when I was there a few months ago. I saw reformer studios in pretty much every corner, and there are many in the US, many in Europe. I feel like there are many now in London and Paris. In Stockholm, there are a few as well, but I've also seen the Megaformer, which is a version of the reformer. So it's not really Pilates or the reformer, but it's a new kind of machine developed from the reformer. So there are different kinds of machines and so on, but I have really fallen in love with the classic reformer and that machine because of the purposes with that one. Because Megaformer and other machines, it's good to know that the purpose with them and what they can give you in the workout, it's different if you compare it to the reformer. And I just love the reformer and the benefits that I mentioned in the beginning. You get to work the feet as well, and you get to focus on lengthening the body and so on. And I think that's quite rare. You don't really find that many workouts today that focus a lot on that too. And then when I've had Carita telling us about the benefits and why we should work our feet and why we should, moving all the different planes and why we should work on lengthening the body and so on, then you really understand how great the reformer is and how amazing this workout is. So yeah, again, I can really recommend doing this dedication. If not, just try a workout and see what you think. Because, if you haven't decided yet if you want to do a training or not, definitely give it a go and try some workouts. And I think I've mentioned this before too, but it's not as daunting and difficult as it looks like. I know the machine can look a bit scary if you're new to it, but it's fairly easy and simple to learn and use. It's a kind and nice machine. You don't have to be scared of it. It helps you in so many ways, and I think that you'll see and feel very quickly how the workout gets so much more fun. And like I said, you get to concentrate on what you're doing. You get that escape from the to-dos and the other requirements you have in your life. You really get a session to just focus on yourself and your body and you feeling it in your body and so on. So it's a great exercise in that sense too, that it really helps you to focus. And knowing the technique is key, like I mentioned. And even if you're practicing, make sure that you go to a studio where the instructor gives you great cues and information and tips and tricks. And maybe it's hard to learn during just a class, which is why I can recommend you doing a training. But it's also really good to know, even just as a practitioner, to just know why you're doing certain exercises and why you have to activate that muscles or place your feet in that way or hold the strap like that. It's always good to know why and some of the benefits. And I've even read that research show that we actually can get the benefits better and just get a whole overall better experience from a workout if we know the benefits and what the thing we're doing is doing to our body and our health. So it's always good to know when you're working out what you're doing and why, because that will just help you stay motivated and inspired too, I think, and want to develop and grow and just deepen your practice as well. And if you have any questions about Pilates and the reformer and this training in particular, just let me know. You can always send me a DM on Instagram at healthbym or send me an email at support@healthbym.com. And I'm happy to guide you and give you the answers the best I can. And if you end up going to the training, you have to let me know how it's going and what you think. I would love to be a part of your Pilates journey and maybe inspire and motivate you more and more. And I believe that Pilates Center Academy are working on even more educations and, like I said, more locations and dates as well. So definitely check them out. I provided the information and links needed in the show notes. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Maybe sign up for a Pilates class, a reformer session, who knows? But take care and good luck with your Pilates journey.